I'm the Phantom Safety Pin, and welcome back to Let's Play Spore. Well, today we are going to be starting Tribal Stage. We've actually just evolved to Tribal Stage, and the game has changed accordingly. As a result, I decided to save there, and as you can see, we have become an industrious tribe since we are an adaptable, omnivorous creature. Which, unfortunately, that detail all got lost to the ether the last time, due to the end not rendering properly. I do apologize for that. I'm going to show you the main feature of the tribal stage. One of the features being that you can design the details of your creature. You can add clothes to your creature now, since they're a little more civilized, and those clothing options will give them different abilities. For example, this hat here will give us 2 gathering and 2 social. You can see that I've changed the creature from last time as well. It has different hands, different feet, has a few more details, and still has those tentacles on its face. I've also changed the mouth a little bit. I'm going to give them a different mask, I think. These different masks also add details. For example, this mask right here will give us some combat and some social. Now, you can change the details on the mask, as well as the depth of the mask and how much it curves, but we're not going to mess around with that. This is really the only time you will see the clothing options on this particular level. I will be cutting it out for the rest of the Let's Play. This fanny pack here will give us some more gathering, which is very important since we'll be needing to gather quite a lot of food in this stage. In fact, that's one of the major parts of the stage, and one of the major reasons you can actually, well, interact with different tribes in this stage. This entire stage is about interacting with other tribes that have sort of evolved and changed on the planet that you are inhabiting. And your whole goal with this stage is to become the most civilized species on the planet. So of course there are a couple different ways you can do that, which I'll get into much later. Now as you can see, there are many different details you can add to your creature. I'm going to be adding these 2 leaf kilts here, just to kind of give a little bit of detail. And it's really very interesting what you can do with these materials if you are of a certain creative bent. We have kind of used up all our clothing options here, so I don't think we're going to be able to add too much more. We will, however, be able to add some earrings around our tentacles, I think, a few gold rings for detail. And bear with me, the mechanic here for turning it is a little bit iffy. I'm trying to find just the right spot so I can turn it and make it look like it's around the tentacle. I do some resizing here. There are also other details you can add, like there are crests you can add. And of course, you can change the color of the clothing that your creature is wearing, but I won't go into the detail there. I believe I did cut that part out to save you from having to watch me spend about roughly 20 minutes detailing my creature. Yes, it can and does take me that long to detail my creatures in Spore. I tend to be very picky when it comes to the details on my creatures. And I tend to be I tend to want it to look just right. So since we can't add any shoulder bits, I'm going to add these crest pieces as shoulder bits, just to make them look kind of cool. And of course you can change the details on the crest, so I messed around with changing the positioning and the other details. I eventually decided that that looked alright, then changed the tilt a little bit on them so they'd look perfect. And that's all. So that all done, there's our creature after painting them, and they're ready. Now, you might notice all of our creatures here, all of our people here have names, and that is a new feature. Now all of your creatures will have names, and they'll be given specific roles in the village. For example, we're going to send these 2 over here to go harvest some fruit. Meanwhile, I'm going to look around, see if we have any fish, and we do. I'm going to send my chieftain here over here to try and scare up some more fish so he can grab them for his tribe. Our powers in this stage are Beastmaster, which will call a flock of creatures to help us. in battle or in socialization, and flying fish, which will scare up fish from the sea for us. And I try to use it here, but I believe something interrupts. Well, it looks like a new tribism has formed on our planet, a new species of sentient beings. We're gonna have to go say hello to them. Now, you might notice up in the upper left-hand corner there, the little menu item that says Interact. Oh. Interesting little creatures we have over here. I'll have to come back to them later. Deep ones. Those don't look particularly like deep ones to me, but to each their own. But yes, as I was saying before, here is our newly formed tribe members, and they all have their own names as well. Now, the thing about the names is sometimes you get some very odd names with your tribe members. I know at one point I had a tribe member in one game named Kitty. I also had a tribe member named Goose. Of course, I made him a musician, because just seeing an aerophonist named Goose run around was far too amusing to me. And here's another creature I created, Migo. Another Lovecraftian creation, which I'm actually quite proud of. I think it came out very nicely. There's lots of my creations in this particular world. Very interesting. And of course there are some international creations, like that creature over that way, who happens to have a German character in his name. As you can see, my chieftain is fishing, and we're going to send someone over here to go social this deep one. Yes, another thing you can do in tribal stage is you can domesticate animals. And here is the deep one creature that we were going to domesticate. Very well done, Zalzi. I'm very impressed by that. It's quite nicely done. So my chieftain is gathering some food. You can see our little food score in the bottom down there is going up. And as I was saying before, with the food going up, you can add more buildings and add more people to your tribe. Adding more people to your tribe is, of course, a good thing. As you might notice with this little baby, named Nattens apparently, that I've just spawned in. We can have up to 6 people in our tribe right now, because we are a very, very small tribe. But that will change as we get bigger and bigger. And oh dear, it appears wild animals are coming, and what just killed those Amigo? No, seriously, what just killed those Amigo? I have no idea what just killed them. They're just kind of there. I believe I do check that out later. I'm not sure if one of my tribe members killed them or what happened there. Very, very strange. Yes, this was where I noticed earlier that they'd just been killed off, and I'm like, what killed them? So I sent some of my tribe members over to go harvest the food, the meat from them, and hey, free food, right? Right. Now I'm going to add one more baby, and our tribe will be up to full member potential. The mod I have installed does make our babies grow up a little bit quicker than normal. Normally they take about a minute to grow up. Now they take about 30 seconds with this mod installed. And the names of tribes have changed as well. For example, that brown tribe over there is called Mud Village instead of Brown Village. And we've domesticated that deep one successfully, and it will now be our pet. Now, the reason you want to domesticate pets in tribal stage is, well, 1, it provides protection, 2, if you get into hard straits, you can kill them for food, and 3, they will produce eggs for your tribe, which is another source of food. Now, you do want to have at least 1 weapon for your tribe. With the food gathering skills, there's really no need to hunt for food, I find. As long as you have fishing spears or some sort of gardening tool at some point, there's really no need to go hunting for food. But if you do, then it's always good to have a weapon. But the real reason you want a weapon is for protection. Here, I checked out our deep one earlier on. He's quite large. Quite large. And of course, if you're going to domesticate a creature, what is he doing? What is he doing? I didn't realize he could walk out of the pen. Is that part of the mod? It must be. Interesting. Fascinating. I had no idea that would happen. Learn something new every day with this mod installed, I swear. And in case you're wondering, the mod that I have installed is called Platinum Spore. I also have the Bot Parts Pack mod installed, and I have Spore Aquatic, which unfortunately is not working properly, but it does add some nifty effects to the creature creators, I find. Oh, and another feature that your tribe members will do, they will talk to each other, as those two down there were showing. So now we have 2 spearmen. They're just going to be here to protect our tribe in case raiders come, or in case anybody tries to come after our food. But in the meantime, well, we're just gonna be taking our musicians over here to go be nice to this tribe. Now there are 2 things you can do with rival tribes. You can befriend them with music, or you can, well, attack them. I'll be showing off both in this Let's Play. Befriending them is obviously a lot easier. They are less likely to attack you, and if you befriend them, they will give you gifts. Currently all we have are these wooden flutes, so we're going to just spam wooden flute until they get sick of wooden flutes. Now the obvious choice here is you want to get that smiley face to change. You want to change it from yellow to blue and then blue to green. Now there is a creature ability that you can get from Creature Stage if you are an herbivore that will give you the power to have fireworks. I'm sorry, if you're friendly, if you're not an herbivore, my bad. If you're a social creature, it will give you the power to do fireworks, which will automatically change the tribe's opinion of you to the blue smiley face. We have successfully befriended this tribe. Wonderful. But, well, that's not the only challenge we'll have to face. There's plenty more tribes that are going to show up soon, so we'll have to be ever vigilant. And as the game explains, if you ally someone, you get a totem piece. If you destroy the tribe, you also get a totem piece, a different looking one. Since we befriended them, we get the friendly piece, and hey, our tribal village, our main hut, has grown. Excellent. We now have room for more buildings, and we can add more members to our tribe. I believe 3 more. So we can now hold up to 9 tribe members in our tribe, which I will get to work adding as soon as possible. We have 3 new villages. We have the grass village over here. That's one creature I've created. Here's another that I've created over in the sky village. Looks like we have a village of Slendermen over here. Very fascinating. Aren't they awesome? And then we have one more village over here that I have not created. This pink village over here. Fairy Floss, I believe it was called in the game. And it looks like, and of course, if you have them at the yellow or at the red or the orange, you're going to want to bring over some food from your tribe to be nice to them. And now that we have fishing spears, which we've gotten from the other tribe that we've allied, the Mud Village, we can go fishing. I'm going to take my fishermen over here, go fishing. Oh no, not the other person. I don't want that other person to do it. He needs to go get some spears first before I do that. What is he doing? And now that we've got some more food, we can go be nice to these Slendermen over here. And as soon as you deliver the basket appropriately, it'll say that the village you delivered it to is ambivalent about your tribe. Which means that at the very least, they won't attack you, but at the very most... Oh! What's going on over here? They're fighting an invisible enemy, apparently. I guess what happened is they're fighting an epic monster, but... Well, it just popped into existence. Yeah, they're fighting an epic monster that decided to attack them. Yes, epic monsters are still a threat, and they still are going to try to attack you, but if you stay out of their way, they're usually not a problem. However, killing them does yield quite a bit of food. You cannot befriend the epic creatures still, but oh well. And as you can see, we have some eggs produced by our deep one, so we're just going to harvest them now. And we've got a creature trying to take our food. Of course, our village members won't stand for that, and I contemplated using my other power, but decided there wasn't really any point. And of course, any animals you kill in this manner will become food. If you're an omnivore, at least. Or a carnivore, I suppose. But since we chose to be omnivores, well, we really have the best of both worlds because we can harvest just about anything. Later on, we will be getting a type of tool that will allow us to harvest more fruit, and we'll be using that to our advantage. Fairy Floss Village still doesn't like us, so I'm going to send a guy over here to gift them some food. It's around this point in the game that the game really changes gears. It's no longer a role-playing game where you're a creature. It becomes more like a Civilization-type game, like a Civilization 4 or something. And even more so in the next stage, it'll be a lot like Civilization 4. What's interesting, though, is when you get to the space stage, it really changes back to being more of a role-play again, with Civilization elements. And we have a new baby. I was quite surprised that none of the names of our villagers in this particular game decided to be very strange. And since we have some more tools, I'm gonna go check out those tools. And since we have new clothes, I'm gonna check that out. But you don't need to see that, so I think that'll do it for this episode. So until next time, this is the Phantom Safety Pin, signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.